you know what you're going to do next? Absolutely fucking nothing. Okay, so we're going to just do this raw. And by raw, I mean we're just going to be able to do some test hands. Going to show you what the deck looks like, what your hands look like. I have the same extra deck that I showed. They're just in different sleeves. This is what the sleeve coordination is going to be doing forward. So it's going to be the Ivory Dragon Shield sleeves with the Dragon Shield Art Rosacea as the extra deck. But no one cares about that. We want to see how the Gouki deck works. So this is the same one that I profiled, the same exact list, same exact extra decks. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some test hands, and we're just going to see how the deck works, so you get a good feel of how you should be playing it. So right here, since we have, this is actually a really good hand. So since we opened up Scorpio and we don't control any monsters, we're just going to go ahead and normal summon the Scorpio. And we had the Firefront Lady, so we're going to go ahead and special that. Then we're going to go ahead and link these two off into our copy of Isolde. Isolde is going to trigger on summon. So we're going to go chain link 1 Scorpio because you need to get that Gouki search first. And then chain link 2 is going to be Isolde. Make sure it's a warrior monster you're okay with not using for the turn. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and add a copy of Twist Cobra because I don't like Twist Cobra. And then Scorpio is going to go ahead and add you a copy of Headbat. And another reason why I have to add Twist Cobra is because since I didn't open up another copy of a Gouki monster, I have to discard a Gouki monster in order to activate Headbat's effect. So by doing that, I'm going to go ahead and activate Isolde's second effect. I'm just going to leave the hand like right here. And Isolde is going to go ahead and send your Penis Blade to the graveyard, like so. And it's going to summon out your copy of Octostretch from the deck, if I can find it. So, yep, they're right next to each other, butt buds. So you're going to summon out the Octostretch. And then you have a couple things you can do here. You can either link off the Octostretch into Linkuriboh, but since we're trying to play around Nibiru, we're going to go ahead and activate the Headbat, targeting the Octostretch, discard your Twist Cobra, and summon out the Headbat. You're then going to go ahead and link these two off with the Isolde, and you're going to make your Apollousa, like so. And now Apollousa is going to have 3 counters. Okay, just went to grab a dice. So Apollousa is going to have 3 counters, just going to leave the 3 there so you know. And you still have this in hand, which is really good already. And when Apollousa gets summoned, you're going to go ahead and chain your Octostretch and your Headbat. Doesn't matter which order you do it in. And you're going to go ahead and add at least 1 copy of Rematch. And if you want, it doesn't really matter what you add here. It could be like another copy of Rematch if you want. But in this case, I'm just going to add a copy of Suprex. Give that just a little shuffle. Doesn't really matter too much because you're going to keep going in. And with this being in your graveyard, you're going to go ahead and activate your Rematch. And you're going to summon basically the last 2 you just summoned out. And you're going to link those 2 off. The effect won't trigger. And you're going to summon your Codebreaker Virus Swordsman underneath Apollousa. So since it's co-linked, you're going to activate Virus Swordsman. And Swordsman's going to go ahead and summon out the 0 Day from your deck. And it doesn't matter where you summon it to. All that matters is that you summon it, like so. You're then going to go ahead and link these link these 2 off for your Virus Berserker underneath the same zone. And since your Virus Berserker is now underneath your Apollousa, you're going to activate Virus Berserker effect by summoning the same 2 that you just summoned out to the other zones, like that. Now, depending on what your hand looks like, my hand is really good, so I can't complain too much here. So that really just determines what you do next. So with these 2, I'm going to go ahead and link them off into a copy of Rusty, like that. And then you're going to go ahead and activate Rusty by sending your copy of Ancient Cloak. And it's going to go ahead and set the Shade Brigandine. And then you're going to activate your Ancient Cloak as well, banishing it to search yourself the where is he? Silent Boots. So now this is your hand after doing all that. you have a pretty stacked graveyard. You're going to go ahead and take your Silent Boots and special summon it because you control Phantom Knight. You're going to link these two off. And you're going to go ahead and summon your Anaconda. So right here, you already have a really good board. With your boots, you're going to go ahead and banish that. And you're going to add your copy of Fogblade. Give that another shuffle. And then now with this being your board, you're basically done here. So you're going to go ahead and send your Red Eyes Fusion through Anaconda. And then that's going to activate. And it's going to send your Dark Magician and your Red Eyes. And you're going to summon out your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Like so. I want to say it doesn't really matter where you summon it to. Just keep in mind there's like this new Link monster where it could be up here and pointing towards like one of these zones. So I wouldn't summon it here just because that Link monster would be able to take it. And oh wait, no, it would take the Anaconda. So just kidding, ignore that. But this is your board. So you have a set Brigadine. You have 2 Fog Blades that you can also set. And then you have a Called by the Grave, and you have the Serrathus. So this isn't going to be, obviously, your every turn 1 board, but it is really good. I just had a really good opening hand, and that's just showing like what you can end on. It is a little different now that we don't have the Union, the guy that we summoned off of Union Carrier. But yeah, that's combo number 1. So I plan on doing all my test hand videos like this from now on. I do still have an Assault Day in there. Oops. Okay. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. So I do plan on doing all my test hand videos like this, where it's just kind of uncut, so that way you can hear everything I say, and I don't accidentally edit out like an important part. And doing the editing is probably the worst part about being a YouTuber. So, I mean, who doesn't like it raw, right? I should really choose my words better. So we're going to go ahead and keep the extra deck down here. We're going to draw our 5 cards. So we have Junk Forward, Ancient Cloak, Suprex, Instant Fusion, and a Gearfried. Okay, wow, this is actually another really good hand. So I really do like drawing Gearfried for turn, but you don't need it turn 1 per se. You really like it going second. So when you don't open up a Gouki card with your, so you have something to discard off of Headbat, you usually just add the Phoenix so that way you have it set up for next turn. But yeah, with this hand, we're just going to go ahead and combo. So I have a Jump Forward. We're going to summon that. And then we're going to go ahead and normal summon our Suprex with no effect. Go and link these 2 off. So it's going to be the same that you saw in the last combo. Just going to turbo through. You're going to activate your Suprex as chain 1 and your Assault Dice chain 2 because you need that Gouki search. And basically going to add the same 2 since that's how our hand was. So we're going to add the Twist Cobra off of Isolde and the Headbat off of Suprex. We're then going to activate Isolde's second effect again, and we're going to send our Phoenix Blade, and we're going to summon out our Octostretch like that. And then we're going to do the same thing as last time. We're going to go ahead and activate the Headbat, discarding the Cobra, and summon that. We're going to link these off for your Apollosa. And then we're going to trigger. So Headbat 1, Octo 2. Doesn't matter how you do it, just as long as you don't forget. And I'm going to go ahead and activate, or not activate, add Rematch. And I'm going to just go ahead and add probably another Suprex. I just like having Suprex because he's your best normal summon. But again, it doesn't really matter. You could just add another Headbat or another Octostretch. But he's also 1800, so we're going to go ahead and activate the Rematch again. And forgot to put this up. Summon these 2 back out. And then link them off for your Swordsman. Swordsman's basically going to go ahead and do the same thing we did in the last combo. Summon out the 0 Day. And then I'm just going to stop shuffling because it doesn't matter. You're going to link these off. into your Berserker. Everything's all nice in order because I just did the last combo. And then Berserker's going to do it again. All right, and now this is where you're left. So this is where it gets different because you have that instant fusion in your hand, but you also don't have the ancient cloaks anymore. So you can't send it off of Bardiche when you summon it, but we are still going to go ahead and make the Bardiche by linking those off for Bardiche. And then Bardiche is going to trigger, or not trigger, but it's going to activate the effect, and you're going to send your Silent Boots to set a Phantom Knight card. So you're going to set your Fogblade. You're then going to activate your Boots in Grave to banish it, and you're going to search the rank, or not rank, but the Brigandine. So now this is your hand. It's still pretty good. Can't complain there. And what you're going to do next is that you're going to go ahead and... Let's see, what should we do here? With everything here, I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and activate Instant Fusion. I'm going to summon my Carbonella Warrior. And then since I don't have any traps in the graveyard, I'm going to set my Brigandine and then activate my Brigandine. Summon that. And then I'm going to overlay these two for my Abyss Dweller. And then after that, I'm just going to go ahead and banish the Phoenix Blade to summon out my Gearfried. And then I'm going to link off the Berserker and the Gearfried for Anaconda. And Anaconda is going to go ahead and trigger. We're going to send the Red Eyes Fusion, and then with that going through, we send the Black Dragon and the Dark Magician, and that's going to get us our Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. And this is your end board. So you have 2 cards in hand, you have a Dragoon, you have a Dweller, and you have a 3-negate Apollosa with a Fogblade. So that should be game, depending on if your opponent sides cards in or not, depending on if this is your game 1. It just really depends on what it is. But again, not that bad of a hand. It's really consistent. As long as you have that Gouki card and an additional extender, you have full combo. So yeah, and we opened up the Ancient Cloak. So just when we thought that we were done, you had just had another extender to help you get there. So yeah, let's go ahead and do a test hand going second, and I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. So here we're just going to go ahead and do a going second hand. So you don't really... It all just depends on what you're playing against that determine whether you... like what plays you make. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that we have a 3-negate board that we have to deal with. And with that 3-negate board comes many negates and lots of thought process. So we have a Junk Forward, a 0-day, Scorpio, Instant Fusion, and Suprex. So when you know you're going second and you see this hand, you're like, okay, it's pretty good, but it depends on what your opponent has. So draw for turn, and it's our 6th card, and we...
Dude, does it just suck being you?
Oh, shit. Red Eyes Black Dragon. So with this hand, it really just depends on how good you are and how good you can play. So here is what I would do, per se. So my opponent has a 3-negate board, right? Let's just say 3 negates. So I go ahead and special my Junk Forward, right? We're going to go ahead and normal summon the Suprex. And then Suprex is going to attempt to activate. My opponent most likely will be able to negate that and destroy it. We're then going to go Suprex effect to search. And that will probably go through because we wasted our normal summon. So let's just assume that our opponent's not bad and lets us have that. So I'm going to go ahead and actually add a rematch off of that, because rematch is a really good bait negator. And then we're going to go ahead and activate Instant Fusion, getting our Carbonella Warrior, right? Wrong. They're probably going to negate that because Instant Fusion is a 1-of, and it's a really good card. So now my opponent only has 1 negate left. So with this hand, you know what you're going to do next? Absolutely fucking nothing, because you drew Red Eyes Black Dragon, and you literally can't do anything with this in your hand. Can't do anything with any of these. If we had another Gouki card, we probably could have kept going. But since we don't, we lose. So this deck can't really go second. Unless you know what your board's going, what you're going up against, Basically, the end game when you go second is to do the same exact thing you did in the first two combos I showed you with the first two test hands. And instead of going into your Appaloosa, you're going to go ahead and make an access code talker. So, or you're just going to build up into an access code talker. If you can't build into your access code talker, then going into like your Trisbana is also good, because then you just get rid of your opponent's entire back row and they burn for each card that I got rid of. But yeah, guys, this is something new that I wanted to do. I have a lot of people that ask about combos for the decks that I do post. So what I'm going to start trying to do now going forward is posting combo tutorials in their own videos, so that way deck profiles aren't too long and they can just watch and observe and then get the idea. And you know, it's just something fun. It's fun and it's different, and I know like I need to bring more diversity to my channel so I can get more of you guys and we can just have a grand jolly time. So yep, that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it. And if you have any questions, comments, concern about the deck, or anything that you think I may need to change, go ahead and let me know in the comments section below. And until next time, guys, this has been Papa, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care, everyone.